here. Assuming everybody's having a great day out there in Pulaski County land. Quick disclaimer before we get started. This is our first news broadcast since we decided to do it this morning. We had lots of news going on and figured we'd just contribute to the madness and shake things up a little bit. The quick disclaimer from the start. Now, everybody knows Pulaski Talks is not an official news channel. It's a satirical, sarcastic operation run by two cats and a guy with a beard. And we've likely as not had too much coffee. We'll try to cover the real topics that are going on in our county that reflect and affect everybody here. But you're probably going to get some opinions, humor, zero corporate filter. And if you're looking for polished talking points, you are no doubt and undoubtedly in the wrong place. If you're ready for real talk, stick around. We'll get started. But anyway, some news headlines I was able to snag from the Ethernet and web and interweb and all that stuff. Packed news update today. A very exciting night, I think, for a lot of us following the election, so we'll get into that a little bit later. First thing, we'll start with the big news for Pulaski County is our health care. Brand new General Lindenwood Hospital is opening up this week. What I read, how factual that is, I don't know, but it's supposed to begin to see patients this week, and it's a major upgrade for the entire region. Some of the facts I wanted to bring to everybody's attention is 225,000 square feet of hospital and clinic space, 3 operating rooms, a dedicated C-section room, level 3 trauma facilities, capable of mass casualty response and decontamination. That's pretty impressive. Will serve more than 34,000 soldiers, family members, and veterans within a 40-mile radius. The only hospital in Pulaski County. That's a fact. And replaces the 6-year-old facility that's going on. I don't know what's going on as far as deconstruction or what have you, but I'm sure it has something to do with asbestos or some careful process that you have to follow. Roads and construction, you'll see it from the Sheriff's Department all the time too. He's been very great. If you don't have the Sheriff's Department app, Pulaski County Sheriff's Department app on your phone, I encourage everybody to get it. It's a great tool, great resource. The Sheriff Ball did a lot of effort and research, him and the Chief Deputy Rex Larson, to make available quick announcements and news notifications to anybody that wants the app. Just go to one of the app stores on Android or go to the Pulaski County Sheriff's page, and there's plenty of instructions there. But he put out for driving through St. Robert this week on the interstate, road closures on I-44 between 8 and 10 April 2026. Affected roads will be old Route 66, St. Robert Boulevard, and both east and westbound I-44. So plan your alternative routes. And for those in the Jerome area and those that have been driving by, you can't make this up. A semi carrying roughly 40,000 pounds of extra firm tofu has been lodged under the I-44 exit near exit 172 at Jerome for over 3 weeks after crashing it on March 1st. And as best as we can tell at the time of broadcast, this is still the truth. If you have any updates on that, you can put it in the comments, put it in the chat. We'd love an update. Crime in courts. At Fort Leonard Wood murder conviction, a military jury has convicted Specialist Wooster Rancy of murder and obstruction of justice for a killing at Fort Leonard Wood following a week-long trial in Pulaski County. The case now heads to the sentencing phase. So for the best coverage that I've ever found, check out Daryl Todd Marie and his coverage on Pulaski Daily News. He's got a great coverage of that trial. I know he sat in on a lot of it. Richland manslaughter trial. William Civil, the second 20 of Richland, has a jury trial scheduled. Faces second-degree involuntary manslaughter charges for his role in a fatal car crash near his hometown. And Waynesville domestic assault. Samuel Sloas of Waynesville was charged with the first-degree domestic assault and illegal gun possession following an incident on Saturday. An arraignment was held with the counsel status hearing scheduled. So much for that. There's plenty more out there, I'm sure. We follow Daryl Todd religiously, so I'm sure you do, and he covers the county a lot better than we can. Education. We got good news for the Waynesville R9 RVI has been recognized among the 2026 best elementary, middle, and high schools by the U.S. News and World Report. Can't stress this enough. This is obviously a great honor for the district and a testament to the staff, students, and community. And also on the education footnote, the JROTC Tiger Battalion received a 99% inspection score. At the JROTC Tiger Battalion for their inspection for accreditation back in February. Definitely outstanding work from those cadets. So, local government, Pulaski County Commission is closed session. The commission recently hosted State Representative Don Mayhew, who attended to speak about pending legislation. Commissioners then went into closed session with County Attorney Jeff Thomas and Sheriff Ball. No details have been made public on what was discussed, but something worth keeping your eye on. So with that, I would definitely encourage anybody to watch Daryl Todd's footage and coverage. We'll try to catch up with it, maybe if we keep doing this noon broadcast. No Kings protest. We see them all down in Waynesville. It's awesome stuff. Freedom allows us to protest as we want against the government. Over a dozen protests took place across Missouri as a part of a national wave of No Kings rallies. Thousands of Missourians participated statewide. And my Google searching and news source and content sourcing from the cats, Jack and Goose, said the West Gate is now closed on weekends on Fort Leonard Wood, citing changes to resources. Visitors and families attending graduations or base events should plan accordingly. Again, according to Jack and Goose's reporting, and they are asleep, recovering from the storm this morning, the West Gate is now closed on weekends. So, next segment, wildlife and roads. MDOT released a study identifying mid-Missouri roads with the highest rates of wildlife-related crashes. Over the past 10 years, 19% of all animal crashes statewide in Missouri occurred in mid-Missouri, mostly involving deer. These local roads make the high priority list for intervention, so be careful out there driving. Keep an eye on the ditches and watch for deer, especially if you're on two-wheeler motorcycles. One of my worst fears, I ride a motorcycle, and definitely something that always terrifies me is that and turkeys coming out of the trees. Other than that, it's scary. Hey, Election Day, April 7th, switching segment. April 7th is Tuesday. Election Day is this Tuesday, April 7th. Polls open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. You will need a valid photo ID, Missouri driver's license or state ID, a U.S. passport, or a military photo ID. Our nearest polling place will be posted on PulaskiVotes.org or call David Ernst and one of his crew down at his courthouse at 573-774-4701. Now, all names and ballot language sourced directly from the Pulaski County Combined Ballot. So I did not just ad-lib this. I pulled it directly off the sample ballot that was on the website. School board races. Vote for 3. Oh, rain stopping soon in Kaiser. If you're fishing or going fishing. School board races. Races to shape your kids' schools. Low turnout means your vote counts extra. So Waynesville, RVI, R6, I think that's R6. Can't remember my Roman letters. Lane Lurcher, Mike Rawlings, Richard Oxendine, and Andy Anderson are running for school board. Crocker School Board, Jimmy Ballware, Jason Stewart, Billy Medlin, Michael Sloan, Samantha Barnes. Hey, Sam. You know me. Dixon, Matthew McCrae, Travis Shelton, Charles King, Raph Bauscher II, Alyssa Hogshooter, and Phelps County R3, Katie Mathis, Tamika Hay, Jim Rector, and Justin Castro. City councils and alderman races. Most of these are uncontested, but a few are real races. Here's the breakdown. City of Waynesville, 4 wards, one seat each, 2-year terms. Ward 1, Rob Rice, uncontested. Ward 2, Anthony Harold, uncontested. Ward 3, Ryan Bland, uncontested. Ward 4, Robert Hyatt, uncontested. St. Robert, City of, 1 each. The undeclared county is South Central Missouri, where we're broadcasting out of, by the way. Ward 1, Keela S. Bennett, so far is uncontested to the best we know. Ward 2, Lily Fincher Crichton, I hope I got that right, and Linda Daniels, contested. Ward 2 is contested, so keep an eye on that. Ward 3, Michael Hanks, uncontested, and Ward 4, uncontested, Michael Myers. City of Richland, Ward 1, Jason Williams, uncontested. Ward 2, Mark Howlett, uncontested. Ward 2, 1 year unexpired, Mac Myers, uncontested. Ward 3, Dylan Ziegenbein, uncontested. Would you believe I actually got printed? I should be reading it like a newspaper person. City of Crocker, 2-year, Ward 1, Jamie L. Jackson and Devin R. Schultz, contested. Ward 2, write-in only, no candidate filed. I think I've seen somewhere some posts on somebody wanted to be a write-in candidate. Anyway, shifting to Dixon, Ward 2, no candidate filed for 2-year term. Ward 2, Daniel Milligan, uncontested. And Ward 3, write-in only, same as number 1, Ward 1, no candidate filed. Excellent. Now, shifting to the Waynesville Rural Fire Protection District. Board members, 6-year terms. You get to vote for 3 candidates. And guess how many candidates we have? Trace. Carl Jensen, Stephen Arrington, and Gregory Derheim. I hope I spelled that or sounded that out right. Now, here's a big question. $11 million for the Waynesville Rural Fire Protection District to be on the ballot. Do we give them that amount of money? This is an $11 million bond question for the Waynesville Rural Fire District. If it passes, it funds new and upgraded fire trucks and stations and plus fire trucks, gear, and communications technology. And if you live in that fire district, this one affects you directly and affects your community emergency response capability. Now, I do have more details. The assistant chief did meet with our famous Marvin in the Morning broadcast. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Give me a second. There we go, right there. If you go to Marv's webpage there, you can see Marv. He talked to Ed Fowler, Deputy Fire Chief of the Waynesville Rural Fire Protection District, about this bond issue. And he wanted to dispel common myths about the fire department and discuss the important bond issue on the ballot for 7 April next week, Tuesday. So if you're interested, check out Marv's video with the Deputy Fire Chief, Ed Fowler, no relation. Marvin in the Morning podcast. So it's just right there. I was going to integrate it into this, but I figured that'd be a bit much. But I do invite you all to hear it directly from the Deputy Fire Chief. City of Richland proposition on the ballot. Proposition 1, use tax. In an attempt to eliminate the unfair advantage enjoyed by out-of-state vendors over local vendors, shall the City of Richland, Missouri, impose a local use tax at the same rate as the local sales tax rate, provided that if the local sales tax rate is reduced or raised by voter approval, the local use tax rate shall also be reduced or raised by the same rate. Yes or no? Now, this is just, of course, to Richland voters. You get to decide this one. It's an internet sales tax designed to level the playing field between brick and mortar stores, businesses, and out-of-state online retailers. So if you buy something from Amazon, this would apply the local sales tax rate, same local tax rate as shopping in town. Now, Public Supply, Water Supply District number 3, an election here. I'm surprised I didn't catch that and put it up above, but it's a Sub-District 2, Vote 1, Mark Sasfy, uncontested. Sub-District 3, Vote 1, write-in only, no candidates filed. So that'll be on the ballot come Tuesday morning. Now, again, Election Day is April 7th, Tuesday next week. The $11 million fire bond issue is definitely a big thing to keep an eye out. My biggest question I have, and I got a feedback from Deputy Chief Ed Fowler, is that if you will know if you're in the district. I would not be surprised if it's on your voter ID card which fire district you're in. So therefore, if you are living in the city limits of St. Robert, you should not be in that fire district. We have our own fire department, same with Waynesville, and that's what I'm assuming. So keep an eye on that, and if Ed wants to chime in here, again, your comments would be more than welcome. So make sure you bring your ID, make sure you show up. That's your voice. Now, House District 21. Let's pull this up. Guess what? That was the shaking news that kind of incentivized me to come out here to this morning. And look at there. There's our candidates for District number 1. 121. Keith Pritchard chimed in and decided he was going to vote for the election. I get my face in front of the camera here. We're still getting used to this, but I invite everybody to follow along with this election closely. Keith Pritchard of Waynesville filed yesterday, 31st of March, 2026, which basically results in 2 Republican candidates for the same office, and there'll be a runoff. Between Keith Pritchard and Ben Rudy for the Republican Party. On the Democratic Party side, we have Charles Slider of St. Robert, who filed on the 24th of February, and Miguel Aurelius out of Waynesville. And Miguel, I apologize if I chewed up your name. Had a little bit too much coffee and the cats didn't help. But he filed on the 24th when the filing opened. He's out of Waynesville, so definitely 4 candidates in House District 121 is going to shake things up, going to make things interesting. Now, we'll shift to District number 2 or District 124, and to make things interesting. Give me a second here while I catch my breath. House District 124, open seat, Lakeway, Dixon, and Iberia area. Invite everybody to go to the state, Missouri Secretary of State for district maps and all that stuff. But if you're in one of those 3 areas, this is your district. Republican primary 3-way race. Tony Lazek's out of Lakeway. Chris Webery. I hope I got that name right, Chris. If not, apologies in advance. We're supposed to be meeting here in the near future to have a discussion and interview Chris, and same with Mr. Onstott, Kevin Onstott out of Iberia. All 3 of those candidates did file on the 24th of February. Now, from the Democratic Party, Tara Hallmark out of Dixon runs unopposed for the Democratic primary. Now, this is the most crowded primary of any local race. 3 primary candidates out of the Republican Party. And, of course, Tara runs unopposed. So this is going to be a race to watch. So key dates for both races. August 4th for the primaries, which means this is where the parties will choose their candidate for the general election. And then November 3rd, the general election, will have 1 candidate from the political party, Republicans, and 1 from the Democrats. So we'll be covering these both races at length. Now, this is your summary of the news from Pulaski Talks today. Remember, and mark it on your calendar, April 7th, next Tuesday at 6 a.m., the polls open, close at 7 p.m. Go to PulaskiVotes.org or call the Pulaski County Clerk's office, Dave Ernst and his great crew down there, to get details on when your polling place is if you don't know. As always, stay informed, stay engaged, keep talking, and Pulaski Talks will see you online in the future. Now, I don't see any chat comments or any questions to chime in. Let me make sure I didn't fail to cover anything. For those that don't know, we did interview Mr. Pritchard a year or two ago when we was talking about the school funding issue on the ballot, and I believe that was last election. So check out our interview with Mr. Pritchard last year. Here's a picture of him. Well, give me a second. Cats are not helping whatsoever. I'm just saying. Cats are not helping. Oh, I want to talk about this. Look at this. Poll results, our unofficial poll results. Now, I think this shocked a lot of people. One, waiting for the poll results to show up. There it goes. It's up there. One, Goose got 5% of the vote. He is snapping that one off. 5% of the vote. Virginia Stobbs, Democratic candidate for the state Senate District number 6, against Bill Hardwick, Don Mayhew, Philip Lohman, and Hannah Kelly. Wow, Virginia did a great job. 63%. Oh, it's a great turnout. But once again, it's just an unofficial poll. We'll be actually doing more and more polls, hoping to get some interviews in. And Hannah Kelly has reached out to us as we've reached out to her. We do some sharpshooting online and ask them tough questions to make sure that they don't feel alone or neglected. Thankfully, Jack has got very good at developing questions. Translation from feline to Google Speaks is not the best thing at all, but anyway, we do enjoy doing that, though. So that's the poll results, the unofficial poll, and Virginia has the lead. He's probably seen some cute little animations we made. And let me see if I can get Mr. Pritchard up here so you have a picture. I believe, if memory serves, Mr. Pritchard works at Security Bank, a long-time banker. And if I also remember right, he is a former civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army, which I understand it to be an unpaid position, but provides advisory services to the Secretary of the Army for issues related to and around Fort Leonard Wood and Pulaski County, et cetera, but he could better speak on that. So we do welcome to the fray. I've yet to ask him directly if he plans on or intends to block me and Pulaski Talks in advance as his competitor in the Republican Party primary did. But we probably will, or if not, Goose or Jack will do that because certainly livened things up and directed our focus. But I doubt Mr. Pritchard would do such a thing because when we had him at the interview, he was an awesome interview and very cordial and educated and knowledgeable about all things Pulaski County. So we welcome to the fray. Now, we're going to chime off. If anybody has any questions, hit us up on Facebook. 26 minutes is just about right. I hope this turns out all right, and I hope you enjoy the tunes as we shout out. We're going to keep it running for the next 3 or 4 minutes. So thank you, everybody, for chiming in, and we'll meet you the next time we have a news bulletin. We're going to try to do this once a week. If you want to come online and join us in our weekly news chats, we can bring you in remotely, just like a FaceTime call or whatever, but you put your face like where you see Mr. Pritchard's face right there, but it'll be live video, have you interact and talk, and we figure out the nuts and bolts of that. Work really well. We can actually have quite a few. So, but with that, we invite everybody to come back and join us next time. We prefer to use YouTube because we can actually have a better quality stream than we do when we have. I'm watching myself live on another monitor to make sure everything's working right. But if you have any questions, send it to us, and we hope everybody enjoyed our initial Pulaski Talks News at Noon, we think, broadcast. And if you have any comments, constructive comments, for those who know what I mean, we'll definitely entertain those. Hit us up on Facebook or YouTube channel here. So with that, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining us.